Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you've had a good weekend. I'm trying to fix my shirt and I'm going the opposite way because of the reflection being backwards. I hope you had a good weekend. Hope you're all well this Monday morning. Thank you for coming to sit with me for a little bit. We are all well and had a nice weekend. Everybody's doing good. I got to stay with Granny this weekend at night, which is unusual. I see her a lot, but I don't usually stay at night. But Paul had to go, he got to go play some tennis away, go to a tennis tournament. And so I really enjoyed my time with Granny, but it was awful nice to get back in my own bed last night. So that was nice. Anyway, everybody's doing good. Granny's birthday is coming up. I shared that before with y'all, March the 6th. A lot of people have been asking if we're going to have her a birthday party. We will. We usually do. For the past several years, we have. So we will. We'll have her a birthday party, and we're working out all the details of that. And hopefully, I can share that video with you. I was at the last minute, I was thinking about the day that we was going to have it, and I thought I should, because it's her birthday, 85. Every birthday is special, of course, but especially when you get older, your family wants to really bless you. I was thinking all of a sudden, I was thinking about making her a cake. We've shared that in a video before we did. Of course, we're not, the cake's tasty, but we're not like decorators as far as making it really beautiful. So I thought I should contact the lady. I went to high school with her, so I still think of her as a girl sitting behind me in one of my classes. But I should contact her. She made the cupcakes and the cake and stuff for Katie's shower. Donna, Katie's friend Donna, got her to do that. And then I got her to make the ones for Corey's. And they were so beautiful, but they were so good too. Vanilla cake with raspberry on the inside. So very good. So I started thinking about that and thought, well, I wonder if it's too late, if I should give her more time. I know she's busy. But anyway, I messaged her and she said she could do it. So I'm excited. She's going to make a cake for Granny. So it'll be really beautiful. And I'm sure she'll put the, 85 on it and it'll be lovely. I do have to tell you this funny story, though. When I was thinking about it, I was at Granny's and I'd already been messaging all our family to see what day would work best for them to come. And I said, Mama, you remember the cupcakes from Corey's shower and Katie's, how good they were? And I think I just said Corey's. Anyway, she said, I never ate mine. I said, you never ate it? Why? And she said, because it was too pretty. She said, I brought it home and I saved it because I wanted to show Carol Jane. Well, Carol Jane is my cousin, Granny's niece, and she lives in Michigan, but she was coming for a visit. And she said, so I wanted to save it and show Carol Jane because Carol Jane's husband made cakes, nice cake, what we call fancy cakes, decorated cakes. And then her daughter, one of them, makes cookies like that. So Granny really wanted her to see it. And I said, okay. And she said, and she liked it. She thought it was so pretty. She took a picture to take it back, take it back home with her and show her family. So that was my funny story about Granny not eating the cupcake. She wanted to save it. Janice, thank you so much. And Janice, we're praying for you. And everybody here is praying for you. We talked about it last week. We hope you're doing okay. And we'll continue to pray for you. I've been praying for all the people that left prayer requests last week. And since then, people's been asking. So it's wonderful to be able to pray for each other. It's wonderful. I'm still praying for Brenda. I've not heard from Brenda and I've not heard from Chubbs, which is really worrying me. So he usually comments on every video. So I don't know what's happened. But I'm still praying. And I thank all of you too for praying. Anyway, I thought that story with Granny was really funny, that she saved the cupcake. And then Carol Jane was so impressed, she took a picture of it. So it really was beautiful. It really was. If you watch those shower videos, you can see Pam's work. And it's like I said, it's hard for me not to just think of her as the girl I went to high school with, even though it's been a long time ago. And I think I run into her one time in a thrift store. And then since then, probably never seen her since high school, except when I picked up the cupcakes for Corey's shower. So I'm excited that she's able to do it. And I know that'll just make it real special. And not only will it be so pretty, her cakes are just delicious. They're just so good. So good. I love that. And I would have never thought of that myself, but the vanilla cake with the raspberry, like little raspberry, with the cupcake, she puts it inside like a filling. And then with the cake, it was in between the layers. So good. So good. And I'm not normally somebody that likes thinking about birthday cake with the birthday icing. That I like the cake part okay, but I don't like that icing. But her icing is really, really good. My favorite cake, of course, a lot of you know, is my Arch tater cake. That's it's totally different than a birthday cake. It's my favorite one. I see Deborah asking prayer list. Yes, we'll pray. Grief is hard, I know, and all of those. Please share, and we'll all pray, which is good. Prayer is our best weapon, our greatest weapon. A lot of you, if you watched our video last night, you've seen the monkey game continues and how Corey got Katie by sending it up here in the little food thing that she had sent with to Katie so that Katie could like freeze some food to feed Ira later. She put it in one of the little things, so when Katie opened it, there was the monkey. So Katie said, in the video, Corey and Austin was coming for supper that night, said, I need to get her back, so I'll have to think of something. And I just forgot all about it. But Corey was changing Woodrow back in my room on the bed, and she yelled and asked Katie if she'd bring her some lotion that they use that's like goat milk lotion, but it comes in a stick, so you can just rub it, which is good for, kind of handy for yourself, but especially for little wiggling babies if they've got a patch that needs to be lotioned up. So Katie, it was in the living room. Katie grabbed it, and then she's like, aha. So she opened it, and she put the monkey on the top, and it's just like a tube, and then stuck it back to see if it would fit, and it did. So she took it to Corey, and I didn't go back there, but Matt kind of went back there and stood at the door, and then Corey just opened it, and it fell out, and she's like, oh, you got me already you got me. So the monkey game continues, and if you've missed that, it's just they've done it for years and years now, Matt and Corey and Katie. There's a car. I don't know where the yellow car is at. There's a little yellow car, and then there's a little toy monkey, and they hide it in different places. And then whoever finds it gets to hide it again. Although I noticed it on my dresser. Corey left it up here, so I don't know if she'll get it back or if somebody else will get to hide it. Today, if you follow the Blind Pig and the Acorn, you've already seen this, but I will share it right here. A lot of you have heard us talk about Katie's having to change her diet because of Ira's allergies. And so one thing that she can't eat is the dairy stuff, but that includes milk. And so she discovered from someone, I don't know who, several months ago now, that she could eat ghee, and it didn't bother him because the milk solids have been took out of it. Well, my dear friend Ed Ammons, he made her some and sent it to her. She so enjoyed it. She had just bought it up till then. And then he also, for me, wrote a blog post. There it is. You can go look, and showed how he made it. So I thought that was really interesting. He did a great job. He always does. So you can go check that out if you want to, if you're interested in ghee or interested in making it. And it's like everything else. There's all kinds of ways to make it and different ways to look at it, but that's how Ed did it. And I can testify it's really, really good, because if I'm going to cook something, I want Katie to be able to eat it, and I was going to use butter, I just use that ghee, and it's excellent. And Katie's been really, really impressed. So thank you, Ed, and thank you for the blog post too. I'm still praying, talking about prayer requests, still praying for the, sorry, Paul's texting me something I had to look at. I always have to look at his to make sure Granny's okay. But I'm still praying for all the people with the flood issues. I know that don't just go, like we've said, about Helene. There's still people recovering. That was way back in September. So this recent bout of flooding, I know that people are still suffering and still trying to figure out things. So please continue to remember all of them in prayer too. One of the videos that Matt and I shared last week was with sharing all the old pictures of Matt, and the comments were turned off, and I didn't turn them off. There's a place you can turn them off, but I've never turned comments off, so it wasn't me. And at first I was like, well, it's just maybe I accidentally clicked that or something. So I went back and looked. No, the comments was turned on. But then I decided it had to be just because there were so many pictures of Matt as a baby, which they were old pictures, but of course the YouTube bots or whatever wouldn't have known. Maybe they thought they were really children. So a lot of videos that have, and it's weird because I see some videos with children and there is comments, but then there's other ones that I've heard YouTubers say because they show kids, YouTube just automatically turns off their comments, and then maybe some people choose to and some people choose not to. I don't know. I think YouTube's such a big platform that sometimes there's just different varying degrees of glitches, or what works for me may not work for another person, that kind of thing. Anyway, we didn't turn them off, they just got turned off, and I'm guessing it was because of those pictures of Matt when he was little. But thank you to everyone that watched it. And I did make a community post explaining that, and a lot of people commented on it that you liked it. So I'm glad that you enjoyed that. We also shared last night in the video that there was the swag above our Christmas. It was Christmas above our entryway into the living room that I had never took down because we just kept forgetting about it. Well, the day after we filmed that video, I took it down. So it's now, I finally took Christmas. I guess this is the latest I've ever left something Christmassy up. Was all the way into the end of February about it. So, but it is gone now. I was tempted, like I told Matt, just to leave it up, but it was starting to fall apart and little pieces falling down. So I finally got that took down. And truthfully, I probably would have forgot it again, but I had company coming, somebody coming to see Katie, and I was like, they're going to think we're so strange. We still have our Christmas up. So we removed it. Anyway, it's probably the latest I've ever left something Christmas up. So thinking about the videos this week, Matt did people have been really asking for a knife video from Matt to talk about some of his more recent favorite knives. We have a video already where he talks about them, but so he did a video talking about showing some of his knives. So if you're into that, you can be on the lookout for that. I hope that we'll share, my goal was, I shared this with you, for every month to do like a little, kind of like a day in a life, but showing like that month in Appalachia. So we managed to do it for January. So I hope I'm going to manage to do it for February, and hopefully I'll share that this week. I've been saving all the little bits and pieces. I just need to put them together. And then we may do another Q&A. We shared our first one last week and got a lot more questions on it. So hopefully we'll share one of those this week too. And I've had a lot of people asking about because of in the video last night, Matt was holding one of our mugs. Let's see if I can see. With our Celebrating Appalachia mug. So a lot of people was asking about them overnight, and they are all sold out, but I've already asked Rob to make us some more, so you could be on the lookout for them. And then also we had some egg separators, but they may have sold out overnight. I was trying to look and I can't really see. So they may be there and they may not in our Etsy shop, but I will share the link to our Etsy shop. It's also got our, not just the egg separators and the mugs when we have them, but also my cookbook that I wrote with Jim Cassida, and also our CDs. And I have a little e-cookbook that's in there too that's just got 10 recipes, but my favorite recipes from Appalachia. That's just one that you would just download. And then it gets confusing. We've confused people, and I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But a lot of people last night was saying, well, I'm looking in your merch store and I don't see those coffee cups. Well, they're not in that one. They're in we have an Etsy store where it's stuff that we actually, like Rob makes the mugs and the egg separators for me, but that we actually sell, like the CDs and the cookbook that I have, and we package them and we ship them out and all that. But then we also have, that's the link I just put in there, is the merch shop where you could get t-shirts, and you can get some coffee cups that are more just like, they're not handmade. In other words, they're mass produced, but a lot of different stuff. But those things are like print on demand because we just don't have room to store all of them. So that company just fulfills them. You order a t-shirt or something like that, they make it, they print it, and then they ship it to you. And we don't really have anything to do with that. But the Etsy shop, the other link I shared, is where all the stuff is that comes directly from us. Now, the merch shop, we do get money from it. I mean, they take a portion of it, but that is supporting us, in other words. But we just don't handle the shipping and the creating of it. Let's see. I think maybe we're ready for the Oh, I wanted to share some stuff. I forgot all about Paul and Granny's songs, didn't I? So last week, people really enjoyed the songs that Paul shared. The first one was "Kneel at the Cross" with Granny, and everybody. Paul says that's all I got to do is do a video with Granny, and everybody likes it, which is true. She's just a treasure, and she's a good singer too. So that was "Kneel at the Cross." You may have grew up like I did hearing that old song and singing it in church. It's a really, really lovely song. I mean, just means a lot to me um, because of those memories of singing it in church and hearing my daddy and Ray sing it, and Corey and Katie sing it, and different people. So I really love it. And then this next one is a song original for his original song he shared last week. Is actually another one that Paul wrote. "I'll Be Young." It's interesting. He tells, I don't remember if he tells it in the video. I think he tells it just in the description below, but you can read it. But tells about how he wrote it. Now that one is familiar, one I'm familiar with. That's probably one of my favorite ones that Paul's wrote. One of the ones that he shared recently, I said I'd never heard it, and he said, "Yeah, you have. You just don't remember." But that one I remember, and I love it. It's just got such a peppiness to it, just kind of pulls you along. If you're playing it like on the bass, it's one of those that just pulls you along too. So I really, really love it. "I'll Be Young," and it's just really clever the way he did it, but I really, really like it. So you can check out those. And then also, I'm going to share some of the things I've been sharing about the people helping the people suffering from Helene. It's still the Vice Grip Garage. He's been doing that fundraiser, and he's almost reached his goal, and he's just got 3 days left. There's 3 days left in it, so you can check that out. And then also there's the thanks to Jan and started it, and then Vivian, they figured out a way to send seeds to the people, that may have lost all their seeds. And so I'm going to put that address in there. And it's to Wayne from Deep River Farm. This is where you would send the seeds if you have some to share, and they would get them to people that are in need, people in need of the seeds. Think about gardening. Another thing to pray about, and I don't know a lot about this, but one of my friends that shared so much information about the storm and how to help people, but also people who need help, where they can get help. She shared with me multiple times about when you think about such devastation, and then how, we've talked about how the creeks and the rivers changed and all that, but that massive flood, everything it brought with it, it put, it a lot of the houses, there was plants that washed away. There was, like a factory plant, all those kind of things. Well, a lot of them, even our houses have stuff in them that's bad, and it put all that into the dirt, into the soil. So there's a lot of remediation, I think it's called, that needs to be done. And so there's some places maybe that were planted that now can't be planted until they fix it. So anyway, that's just so above my head, and I don't understand it all. But please pray for that too. Pray for them. But if you want to help with the seeds, that's where you could send them. This is the B log relief. This is the one where you can just send. Amazon will send it for you, makes it easy. And continue to check out Wayne's channel, Deep River Farm. He's still talking about it. John Ward is still talking about it, the Appalachian channel. So they're sharing information. And of course, the Samaritan's Purse and the North Carolina Baptist, there's lots of organizations there still helping. And I don't know, I'm not as familiar, of course, because it's not in my backyard, but with the ones in Kentucky, please share those too if you have them, that places that people could get help if they need it, or people could donate if they want to help. Now I think we're ready for the wisdom. Y'all continue to bless me, sharing the wonderful, wonderful wisdom. I thank you so much for that. This was from my friend that I was saying shared so much with me about the storm. Valuable information that I've shared, then in turn shared with you. And finally, a word of wisdom for me about onions. Life without onions might involve less tears, but it wouldn't be nearly as interesting or flavorful. Father tells us over and over and over again in the Word to fear not. So chew a matchstick and lay a wet dish rag close by when you I'm messing this all up and we'll start over. So chew a matchstick and lay a wet dish rag close by when you chop a strong onion and savor the flavor of life. Fear not, eat more onions. So that's such a good analogy. Put it like that. Such a great analogy. I love that. It's kind of like, people say without rain, what would the sunshine mean? You got to have some rainy days to appreciate the sunshiny. So I really love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you so much. These were from my friend Kathy, sent me these. This was from Oprah Winfrey. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Sometimes going through hard times is what teaches us for sure. Just as treasures are uncovered from the earth, virtue appears from good deeds, wisdom appears from a pure and peaceful mind. That's one that you could study on. Some men are wise and some are otherwise. I like that one. Benjamin Franklin, he that can compose himself is wiser than he that composes books. I like that one a lot too. Oliver Wendell Holmes, young man knows the rules and an old man knows the exceptions. That one's a pretty wise one too. Life isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. I think we've shared that one before, but that's good. In every walk with nature, one receives far more than they seek. I really believe that because I'm an outdoor person and love to see the majesty of the world that God's created for us. I just love it. This is, I've been sharing about how I've been cleaning out all kinds of things. And this is something that I found when I was cleaning out. I found several, but I'm just going to share one today. And I don't know if Katie did this or if Corey did, but this is a little, hold it up here so you can see it, a little thing they've created at some point. So it says, when life, I think they put live, but they meant life. When life gives you bones, chew on them. So that's pretty good wisdom. When life gives you bones, when it gives you something you don't like, you just got to chew on them and get through it. So I haven't asked them. I'll have to ask them if they remember which one did it. I want to say I think it was Corey, but I'm not sure. It may have been Katie, but that's pretty good though. And I must have thought it was pretty good to have kept it all this time. I had it stuck in with some other kind of meaningful quotes that I used to have on a bulletin board. So that's nice. Nice. From one of the girls, long time ago. This one, let's see. Let me just go back to where I was at and start. This is from Tina. Tina says, I'm reminded of one I just love. When Satan reminds you of your past, remind him of his future. I really like that one. That's good if you're a believer. This is also from Tina. I'm guessing it's about you can't change what happens to you, but you can how you react to it. That's what she's saying this one means. And I really like this one because I've heard Miss Cindy say it. And if I remember right, Miss Cindy said her mother said it. You can't stop a bird from flying above your head, but you can stop it from making a nest in your hair. So thank you, Tina, for sharing that one. This is from Charla. I think that's how you say it, Charla Black. Wisdom from my dad. You don't learn a thing the second time a mule kicks you. He had to tell me that an embarrassing amount of times. Sometimes it takes us a while to learn. I like that. This is from Arena, maybe, Erina. Mother Teresa said, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. I really love that one. That one really speaks to me because I think family is so, so very important. And a great thing to aspire to is to be a good mother, good father, good daughter, son, brother, sister, ever how it works is to do good for your family. I really love that. This is from Morgan. A little bit of wisdom. Don't let yesterday's troubles ruin today's joys or steal tomorrow's dreams. That's a really wise one. Thank you. This is from Margaret. Speaking words of wisdom, here's one that may appeal to your musical family. Two people are walking in New York City, and one person turns to the other person and asks, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? And the other person says, practice. I really like that one. I like that. Thank you, Margaret. This is from Chattan, Chatton, maybe. Don't let the little pitter patter of defeats get you down, is one of my favorite sayings. That's true. It's human nature in us sometimes to let something that um, just small, like start an avalanche of us going down this hill of worrying about things. So I really like that one. Thank you. This is from Donis or Dawn, I don't know, Donishaweir. Just heard this recently and it stuck with me. Inspiration works better than persuasion. Sounds like it makes a difference if effort comes from your head or your heart. I believe that and I like that. This is from Blue Jay. Tipper, when we were children, my grandma would say, "Did you have a piece of humble pie today?" My dad would say, "Come on, kids, no point in dragging your feet. Let's just get it done." Both of those are good. This is from Kathy. I read this the other day and it really hit home. If you don't leave your past in the past, it will destroy your future. Live for today. Live for what today has to offer, not for what yesterday has taken away. I really love that one. Really wise. This is from Lee. I read this bit of wisdom recently. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. I love this as I have let fear stop me from doing many things that would have been so beneficial to me. I love that too. That's I'm somebody that needs encouragement too to step out and do things. This is from Karen. One of my favorite quotes I tell myself when I'm procrastinating is, "Once begun is half done," from Mary Poppins. I use that one too. Because it is true. Once you start, then it's almost like, why was I putting this off? I did get my taxes done. All of you who were telling me about that. And it's not even that I had to do them. I just had to get it all together to send to our accountant. But I did do that. So thank goodness. And it wasn't near as bad as what I thought and why I was putting it off. So I'm glad that happened. But I dread it. And then begun is half done really happened. Because once I started, I was like, well, this is not so bad. This is from Rita. Always treat others as you would want to be treated. The golden rule. When I was younger, I was very shy. I would tell myself that I was just as good as anyone, but not any better. That's a good way to look at it. Thank you, Rita. This is from Devin. Words of wisdom. Your life is like a book. Enjoy the pages and write a bestseller. I like the way that one is. This is from Rhonda. I once heard that every choice you make has a price, and if you are willing to pay the price, then you should go on and do it. Meaning you need to decide if the consequences are worth the price. And that's a wise one, Rhonda. Thank you. This is from Roland. I liked this. He said, when one is feeling overwhelmed with tasks, my grandfather used to say, there's always something to keep a rabbit's tail short. Means you know you're working like a rabbit. The level of liquid in a 55-gallon drum can be estimated by the sound it makes when tapped. Of people who babble endlessly, my grandfather said an empty drum makes more noise than a full one. Apparently, he worked with a few know-it-alls at the paper mill. Thank you, Roland. I really enjoyed both of those. This is from Kim. People might not remember your name, but will always remember how you made them feel. That's one of Katie's favorites. She really likes that one and really tries to live that way. This is from Sainer. I'm always thinking after the live and saying prayers for folks. Thank you so much for that. I'm remembering my mom saying to my teenage self, "Hun, the world is your oyster and you its pearl." And Dad would chime in, "And it takes a dab of grit to make a pearl. You have that part covered." I love those memories and that wisdom, but I love those memories. What sweet memories of our parents. This is from Rick. Words of wisdom. Does the cement hold the bricks together or hold the bricks apart? That's one that you could really study on. This is from Aunt Bigby. Words of wisdom. Learn the hard way. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. That's good. This is from Brenda. Hey, Tipper. Enjoy the videos. I recently watched a movie called The Forge. If you've never watched it, it is a great movie, and And in it, one of the wisdoms they share is don't always be the drink. Sometimes you need to be the fountain. That stuck with me, and I thought I would share it. I really like that. That's a deep one when you think about it. You don't always have to be the drink. Sometimes you can be the fountain. That's really wise, isn't it? I really love that. Thank you, Brenda, so much for sharing that one. This is from Robbie. My papa used to tell us kids, if you're minding your own business, you're too busy to mind anyone else's. I like that one. This is from Stephanie. Some wisdom from my grandma who lived next door when I was growing up. If she thought you weren't giving something your best effort, whether it was pulling weeds, practicing piano, or studying for school, she would bop us on the head with varying strength, depending on the offense, and say, you got to use the gifts God gave you, baby. When I'm wimping out while doing something, though she has been gone over 30 years, I hear her voice in my head and give it my all. Isn't that just the greatest story? Thank you, Stephanie, for sharing that. And that's what's so wonderful about this wisdom. So much of it that y'all are sharing and things I've shared too is stuff that your parents said, your grandparents said, and maybe a coworker said, somebody, a friend, a dear friend. And then that's how it gets passed down. So I just love that so much. Thank you. And becomes um, not just part of your family oftentimes, but in your head. I hear Pap and Granny in my head. I hear them. If you're not going to do it right, just don't even do it. You got to take the time to do it right. This you'll feel so good once this is over. We'll feel so good once we get this chore over. So all kinds of things like that. I really love that how they end up in our being part of who we are, and then we in turn can share them with others and pass them down to our family. And then I've got one more I'll share. This was actually on my blog from Jackie. Words of wisdom. What if you woke up today with only what you thanked God for yesterday? When you cease to walk in love, you cease to walk in God. Is anyone in heaven because of me? So, as a believer, especially, those are wise things to think about. But I think we've talked about that and shared that before. That sometimes that's one of the sayings that, or the wisdom that y'all shared here, is that sometimes the things that we're aggravated about, somebody else is praying for. They're wishing they had that. So always a good reminder about being grateful. Always good to be grateful and to think about things like that. I look like I'm all glitchy. I hope I'm not on your part, but I look like I am to me. So I guess that's time for me to sign off. I hope all of you have a really wonderful week. I thank you so much for spending your Monday mornings with me, and I love you all. Bye bye.